What's up guys, Bloodshed here, bringing you the Witch Doctor Helltooth build for patch 2.4.2 Diablo 3 Season 7. Now this is going to be the group variant, but we also are going to include the solo build, which is not much different, to be honest. A lot of you have requested this build, so I'll kind of go over it into as much detail as I possibly can, so let's get started. So the question I've been getting is, Bloodshed, why is there two Witch Doctors in the DPS meta? Like, what's going on? Is this really gonna happen? And it looks like it's gonna happen. Now this has been the craziest meta off season we've had in a while, but it looks like Witch Doctor is gonna make the meta with the Sacrifice build. Now this build has been around for months now, right? The Sacrifice Witch Doctor build, and it's finally come to the forefront. Now that everything has kind of been normalized on the landscape, I think it's time for the Witch Doctor to shine. Alright, let's talk a little bit about the build and how it functions. So let's say this dude was the enemy we want to eliminate. You're going to want to stay within range of the target, right? Because we are using the passive confidence ritual, so you want to stay within 20 yards of him. In addition, we're using the wormwood in the cube, so Locust Swarm continuously plagues enemies around you. Also, you're going to want to hit this guy with Haunt, right? So boom, we're going to haunt the target. And what Haunt's going to do is it's going to allow him to take 20% more damage. But they did change it this patch. It only affects you, like the Witch Doctor. It doesn't affect your entire party. So we hit him with the Haunt. We drop a wall of death upon him, right? So now our dogs, our gargantuans, everything's getting boosted. We're killing things. And we want to hit him with, you want to hit him with Soul Harvest, right? So hopefully there's a lot of mobs around you. Like, there's like a bunch of mobs like this, and then boom, you Soul Harvest, and it's going to increase your damage, right? Another thing that increases our damage is Sacrifice, okay? We're using Provoke the Pack. We're going to gain 20% increased damage done for 5 seconds after using Sacrifice. So you can see right now our Sheet Deeps is 2.3 million. I hit him with the Sacrifice, and it goes up to 2.7 million. And we can keep this up indefinitely, right? Because we summon a zombie dog to our side every 2 seconds with Homunculus. So it's pretty much like a perma 20% buff. In addition to that, Sacrifice was buff a while back, like kind of when this build cropped up, right? Over 1,000% weapon damage you get just using Sacrifice. So we did use this build, kind of like on our leveling build, a little variation of that. This is an incredibly strong build. Of course, Lakumbas are going to reduce your damage taken when you use Soul Harvest, right? With Sacred Harvester, you can stack it up to 10 times. So you can see everything is very synergistic within itself, okay? I'm going to have the written build down below for you guys, because it is kind of tricky when it comes to the stats, because you need so many stats in this build. You can see we're not using Tasker and Theo, so we want to get attack speed from somewhere. So I like to get it from the Witching Hour and from my gloves, right? So obviously everything's going to be down below, but this, just so you know, like there's a lot of intricate stats that you need. Like obviously we need to pump up our gargantuan damage. We need to bump up our area damage. That's another huge priority. We need to bump up our attack speed, our crit damage. The only thing we really don't need is CDR. So if you do tend to die a lot, there might be a problem in this build. Like you might have a problem because our CDR is so low, and we might not be able to resummon like our gargantuans or something like that. So be careful, but with the added armor from Soul Harvester, the Cheat Death passive, like hopefully you're okay. Okay, well we just disconnected. Rip City. For legendary gems, we're definitely rolling with Bane of the Trapped, Enforcer Gem, and Stricken. Pretty much best in slot for those ones. You know, the Humungoid Room for the Gargantuan, so we're gonna get cold damage on our bracers. And yeah, I mean, this is very similar to what we've seen the past few seasons for Witch Doctor, right? I think the only thing that really changed is Tasker and Theo isn't there anymore. The belt might have changed, but yes, it's roughly about the same kind of thing. You want to stack topaz gems in your gear. You can throw a Flawless Royal instead of the life percent gem if you want. I'm just going to apologize ahead of time because the Traveler's Pledge Compass Rose combo is going to be the best. And I know every season, if you're an intelligence-based class or anybody that uses that set has a problem getting like a really good Compass Rose, right? Like it's just damn near impossible to get a good Compass Rose. Also in the cube, we're using the Mask of Jerome to increase our pet damage by 100%, and the Ring of Emptiness. So you deal 300% increased damage to enemies affected by Haunt and Locust Swarm. So you can see why we want to keep Haunt on the target and Locust Swarm from the Wormwood. So we want to be like continuously around the enemy. Now, since you are kind of like, if these are the enemies, since you are playing with death a little bit, yeah, make sure you use Jaunt to dodge a lot of the affixes, to dodge a lot of the abilities that the bosses use. So you're going to be doing the best you can to stay alive, but still remain close to the enemy by casting, still casting Haunt, still dropping Wall of Death, jaunting when you're around kind of in trouble, get in the middle of mobs and hit them with the Soul Harvest, right? So this is kind of like your general rotation. Using your pets to body block for you, so when your pets are attacking, you can kind of position yourself behind them to stay alive. So yeah guys, this is the build. Again, everything's going to be down below. If you want to know what the solo build is, it's pretty much exactly the same thing. Oh my god guys, we keep disconnecting so hardcore, so I'm going to try to do this fast. So if you're for the solo build, you want to take off Sacrifice and you want to add Piranha Nado, right? Because you want to group them up when you're solo. You're not going to have a support to pile the mobs together. Piranhas, Piranha Nado. And you want to pop on Henry's Prequisition instead of Homunculus. So we're kind of switching from a sack build back to the classic, Helltooth pet build from last season, essentially, okay? Oh, and I do like using Tasker and Theo for solo play better than group play. So that's the third change. So there's 3 changes. So then I would go here and I'd pop in Tasker, boom, and that would be my solo pushing build. So just swap in Tasker, swap in the Kitty Mojo, OP, and of course the Piranha Nado to group them up. We're not going to be focusing on Sacrifice so much, and you still want to build all the same stats that you built previously, so you can use the same set of gear for both. You can also use a white gem. So a white gem is more relevant when you're solo because you're pretty much by yourself. You can't die, and you want to get your Gargs back as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? So those are the changes I would make to go to the solo build. So again, I'm just it's easy to explain because I've been making videos on Witch Doctor every season for the past like 3 seasons. Alright guys and girls, that's going to be all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you're playing right now and you want to get some practice on the Witch Doctor, we have a 2.4.1 Helltooth pet build that we made this season. And then we have the the Torment 13 Chicken Tooth Pet Doctor build, which is essentially this build plus the Monezuma set. And yeah, so if you want to check those out, check them out. If you want to support my videos above on Patreon, that would be super cool, man. I appreciate all the support I get, the comments, the likes, you guys sharing my videos, posting on Twitter. So thank you so much for that. I stream Thursday through Sunday, Diablo 3, twitch.tv/bloodshed. We have the WoW expansion coming out, and we're getting continuous amounts of Overwatch content. So expect a hodgepodge of Blizzard fuckery from Bloodshed. Anyways, guys, this is Bloodshed, and I'm out this bitch. Peace.